Chinese President Xi Jinping, the Phase 1 trade deal with US President Donald Trump isn't exactly a reason to celebrate. After months of tough negotiations and false starts, the agreement announced on Friday night helps steady a relationship in free fall. While that's important for Xi Jinping, who has faced rumblings of discontent as economy grows at the slowest pace in almost 3 decades, and protests in Hong Kong rage with no end in sight, is at best a temporary respite. The deal did nothing to address the industrial policies that have driven frustrations with China in Washington. Also, it will not reduce the intensifying competition between the two sides over the future of 5G technology, geopolitical hotspots like Taiwan and the South China Sea, or Beijing's hardline policies in China's far western region of Xinjiang. Those are all areas that Xi Jinping's critics say could have been handled better. For the moment, Chinese president can point to some positives. While the Phase 1 deal only reduced tariffs as Beijing demanded, the suspensions of future increases helps bring some certainty for investors who have seen Chinese exports to the US fall in 10 of the 11 months this year. Several key economic data points for November came in stronger than expected, helping to boost stocks around the world on Monday. Charles Liu, a former economic negotiator with the Chinese delegation at the United Nations and founder of How Capital, said the deal would help put a lid on a trade war-inspired nationalism that would make compromise more difficult and hinder China's long-term development plans. It would also help Xi Jinping rebut criticism about his more assertive foreign policy. The deal means that he can clearly show to the population that he is attempting to form a more collaborative relationship with the United States. This most likely immediate flashpoint is the future of 5G and the fate of Huawei Technologies Company, which is the China's flagship tech company. The Trump administration has already hit it with sanctions and sought to prosecute its chief financial officer. Now both the US and China are racing to convince nations across the world to follow their lead, sometimes using threats. On Saturday, China's ambassador to Germany threatened retaliation if Huawei was excluded as a provider of 5G wireless equipment. On the ground, Chinese officials are preparing for the tech war to continue. Paul Triolo, head of global technology policy at Eurasia Group, said China has sent officials to their companies to understand their level of dependence on US technology. Even if Trump wins the election again and moves to repair a relationship with Xi Jinping, the US Congress has become increasingly hostile to Beijing. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi voiced some of the country's frustrations in a speech on Friday in which he accused the US of slandering China's social system, development path, and cooperation with other countries. These tensions are likely to resurface at a political level as soon as the two sides begin talking about a Phase 2 trade deal, while China is likely to insist that Trump drop on the punitive tariffs. The US will push for structural changes to China's economy that will be unpleasant to the nation hawks. According to He Wei-wen, who previously as a commercial attaché at the Chinese consulates in New York and San Francisco. For China, this is a matter of sovereignty, and he added, a Phase 2 deal will be more difficult.